Chapter 119, Daniu enlightens the demon chart. Zuanming giant tortoise meditates, the rising new star. In the forest of pure Yang Peak, Han Yi is sitting cross-legged in the middle of a rapid river, with his eyes closed, breathing in and out, contemplating on the immovable Rakshasa visualization in his mind. Since he was preparing for the upcoming big competition of the sect, it was necessary to form the immovable Rakshasa body. Recently, he had discovered that the immovable Rakshasa was a defensive divine power that honed the primordial spirit. The mural depicted a Rakshasa heavenly demon with 3 heads and 6 arms that seemed to descend like a god, suppressing all ages with its real body. No matter how the small beings attacked, they could not shake the body. Of course, it was merely a mural. Han Yi was not sure if he would achieve the same effect as the Rakshasa heavenly demon if he fully perfected his immovable Rakshasa practice. At present, he could only use the immovable Rakshasa as a defensive measure. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, Han Yi noticed that there were loud noises where he was, and the ground was shaking due to them. He was puzzled about what was happening, so he released his spiritual sense to investigate. He noticed a tall figure standing at the foot of the mountain, throwing punches at the rock face. The energy from each punch seemed to flow naturally, carrying a hint of hegemony. The position of the punches on the rock face was uneven, the depth was immeasurable. Each punch was aggressive yet also well controlled. It didn't shatter the stone but concentrated at one point, imprinting the rock face. Han Yi was very surprised, for he discovered that this figure in his spiritual sense was none other than Wang Daniu. When did Wang Daniu's boxing technique improve to such an extent? Ever since he moved into the cave mansion, he was busy with alchemy and spiritual plant cultivation daily, occasionally visiting the Ziwei Peak to collect sword attributes. Frankly speaking, he hadn't had as much interaction with Daniu as before. And if there was, it was him gifting elixirs, and they barely talked even once every half a month. However, this was the true living condition of a cultivator. Everyone had their tasks to complete and couldn't possibly scamper around every day. Since joining the sect, Wang Daniu had been diligently practicing his boxing techniques day and night without any distractions. His dedication and solid practice eventually paid off. He mastered his boxing techniques and grasped the essence of boxing intent. His current boxing techniques could be described as transcendent. Compared to the techniques Han Yi had taught him, they had improved and outshone the original. On the contrary, he himself had neglected practicing his boxing technique, and instead concentrated his time and focus on other matters. Swish! A bundle of purple attributes fell from Wang Daniu. Han Yi had already reached his back, but the latter was still immersed in his boxing practice. Daniu's comprehension of boxing techniques far exceeds mine, Han Yi thought to himself. He did not hastily interrupt Daniu and started absorbing the attributes. Attribute collection, unparalleled fist intent 10. Unparalleled fist intent purple. The fist intent is majestic. The punch catalyzes a massive force shaking the mountains, covering the world with its brilliant light, capable of fighting against all creatures. The original points of the unparalleled fist intent attribute had been added to the purple attribute, resulting in another level up. Unparalleled fist intent 4513000. The fist intent is majestic. It catalyzes a massive force shaking the mountain, covering the world with its brilliant light, capable of fighting against all creatures. Boom! 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 After a series of punches, Wang Daniu stopped, managing his internal energy, slowly closing his eyes as if feeling something. An overwhelming, pure, true ki was revealed from his body like a river, shimmering and flowing, making him look radiant. Seeing this, Han Yi was surprised. Supreme Wuxia skill, the 5th level, Great River divides yin and yang. Han Yi was clear about Daniu's technique as he had also studied it. However, his practice had always stopped at the 3rd level and did not progress much further. After watching Daniu's cultivation progress, Han Yi finally understood why the Supreme Wuxia skill and 5 Elements Gang were chosen as the heart methods and inherited divine powers of pure Yang Peak. Both complemented each other, one refined and purified true ki, ensuring the power, while the other, changing constantly according to the individual, alternated between the 5 elements. could result in strange abilities and started exploring one's own 5 elements gang. Wang Daniu stomped deeply and the ground cracked. A powerful surge of golden true ki burst out, supreme and vigorous, causing ear-piercing sounds. The yin-yang symbol emerged above and below him, absorbing the heavenly earthly spiritual ki and radiating brightly, almost like golden rain. This move caught Han Ye's attention, as he had never seen it before. This is a new technique. At this moment, he couldn't help but ask aloud, "Daniu, who did you learn this from?" Upon hearing the voice, Wang Daniu was slightly startled. He quickly turned his head and revealed a smile when he saw it was Hanya. "Haha, Brother Han, long time no see. This is the pure Yang Zuan Huang fist taught by Senior Brother Pei. During the days when Brother Han was away at Ziwei Peak, Senior Brother saw my hard work in cultivation and specially taught me this. It took me a very long time to learn, but now I am becoming more proficient." Hearing this, Han Yi fell silent. Pei Likong was indeed a true inheritor of the sect. He was once a famous genius in the Dragon Sparrow sect. He favored Dan Niu and taught him the pure Yang Zuan Huang fist, but had never bothered with Han Yi. Senior Brother Pei said that the path of training fists is all about following your heart's desires. If you are too eager for quick results, you will not succeed. Therefore, he told me to practice slowly, striking the stone wall 10,000 times a day. Only when I can make fist marks that went 8 inches into the rock. Without the rock crumbling, can I truly be considered to have grasped the basics. That's why I have been practicing these days. Upon hearing Dan Niu's words, Han Yi couldn't help but smile bitterly. Dan Niu, as always, takes advice to heart, and what's more, he actually succeeded. Thinking about this, Han Yi had no feelings of jealousy. On the contrary, he felt nothing but admiration. Everything that Dan Niu achieved, whether in cultivation or other aspects, he deserved. Han Yi naturally had no reason to be envious. It was rather Dan Niu's persevering nature that made him want to lend an extra hand of help. Without Dan Niu, there wouldn't be the Han Yi he was today. Everything began with the idiom strength of an ox. But how could he help? As Han Yi played with his storage ring, an idea suddenly struck him. Over this period, he had used his magic power to inscribe all 24 demon visualization charts onto a parchment. Although they didn't have the original effect like the stone wall, they could still establish a connection. This is the mystery of the ancient heavenly demon imagination map. As long as these 24 diagrams exist, they can communicate with the demon chart inside the stone wall. Perhaps he could give the heavenly demon imagination map to Dan Niu to comprehend? Han Yi realized he could pass down the demon chart's inheritance to those beside him for cultivation. The only condition was that they had to be the ones closest to him. With this thought in mind, he subtly took out a bundle of parchment from his storage ring and handed it to Wang Daniu. "Daniu, take a look at these 24 diagrams. See which one resonates with you the most." "Diagrams?" Wang Daniu took the parchment with a puzzled look. Although he didn't understand, he did as Han Yi said and saw various strange and unique designs. Moreover, while flipping through the pages, he felt an inexplicable buzzing in his head. The heavenly demon imagination map, even when printed, could still affect people's minds. Its effect, however, was not as obvious as the stone walls. This one. When Wang Daniu finally stopped on a page, Han Yi looked over. He saw a picture of the Zuanming giant turtle visualization map. The Zuanming giant turtle was another name for Zuanwu, an exotic beast from ancient times. The Zuanming giant turtle had a fierce head similar to a dragon's, a turtle's body, but with black scales on its shell, and a tail that was a hissing poisonous snake.